Do you wake up each morning feeling like the captain of your own ship, or do you drift aimlessly in waters controlled by others? When was the last time you made a decision that truly came from your core, your essence, your authentic self? Are you living your life, or is your life living you? Write, "I will be better now" in the comments if you're ready to reclaim your throne as the ruler of your own destiny. My friend, I am Napoleon Hill, and I have spent decades studying the minds of the most successful individuals who ever walked this earth. Through my research with Andrew Carnegie, Henry Ford, Thomas Edison, and hundreds of other extraordinary souls, I have discovered a fundamental truth that separates leaders from followers, winners from losers, masters from servants. Today I share this wisdom with you because your life depends on understanding this principle. The question that haunts every man's soul is not whether he will face challenges, but whether he will rise to meet them as a leader or surrender to them as a victim. You see, life is not happening to you. Life is responding to you. Every circumstance, every relationship, every outcome in your existence is a direct reflection of the mental attitude you hold and the decisions you make or fail to make. But here's where most men lose their way. They surrender their decision-making power to others, particularly to the women in their lives, believing this demonstrates love and respect. Nothing could be further from the truth. When a man abdicates his role as the decisive leader of his own life, he doesn't create harmony, he creates chaos. He doesn't inspire attraction, he breeds contempt. He doesn't build love, he destroys the very foundation upon which genuine relationships are built. Listen carefully to what I'm about to tell you, for it will transform your understanding of reality itself. Your mind is the most powerful force in the universe, and within it lies a faculty that 99% of people never learn to use, the faculty of conscious choice. Every moment of every day you are choosing. You are choosing your thoughts, your reactions, your responses, and ultimately your destiny. But most men have forgotten this truth. They have allowed their minds to become the playground of doubt, fear, and external influences. The consciousness you carry is not just your awareness of the present moment. It is your creative power made manifest. When you truly understand that your thoughts are things, that your mental attitude shapes your reality, that your beliefs become your experiences, you begin to grasp the magnificent responsibility that rests upon your shoulders. You are not a leaf blown by the wind of circumstance. You are the wind itself. Time, my friend, is the one resource that flows equally to every human being, yet it reveals the stark difference between those who lead and those who follow. The leader uses time as his ally, making decisive choices in moments when others hesitate. The follower allows time to slip through his fingers while waiting for someone else to decide his fate. Every second you spend in indecision is a second you surrender your power to external forces. Consider the profound reality that surrounds you right now. Everything you see, everything you experience, every relationship you maintain exists because of choices, either choices you made or choices you failed to make. The woman who no longer respects you didn't lose respect overnight. She lost respect gradually as she watched you repeatedly defer your decision-making power to her. The career that stagnates didn't suddenly become unfulfilling. It became a prison because you chose security over growth, comfort over challenge. Let me share with you the story of Marcus, a brilliant architect who came to understand these principles too late, and Victor, his colleague, who learned them just in time. Both men worked for the same prestigious firm in Manhattan. Both possessed exceptional talent, and both were married to remarkable women. Yet their destinies diverged dramatically based on one fundamental difference: their relationship with decision-making and leadership. Marcus was the kind of man everyone liked. He was considerate, always seeking consensus, never wanting to upset anyone. When his wife Sarah suggested they move to the suburbs, Marcus agreed without expressing his own desire to remain in the city near his work. When she insisted on choosing their social circle, he deferred to her judgment. When career opportunities arose that required risk or relocation, Marcus would ask Sarah what she thought they should do, then follow her recommendation. He believed he was being a good husband, sharing decisions equally. Victor, on the other hand, understood a deeper truth. He loved his wife Elena deeply, but he never confused love with abdication of leadership. When Elena expressed her opinions about their life decisions, Victor listened carefully, considered her wisdom, then made the final choice based on his vision for their future. He didn't dismiss her input, he valued it greatly, but he never surrendered his role as the decisive leader of their household. As months turned to years, a fascinating transformation occurred. Sarah began to lose attraction to Marcus. She started questioning his decisions, then making more decisions herself, then eventually making most decisions alone. She began to see him as weak, indecisive, someone who couldn't be relied upon to lead. Their intimate life deteriorated, their conversations became mundane, and Sarah found herself attracted to other men, men who displayed the decisive leadership her husband had abandoned. Meanwhile, Elena's respect and attraction for Victor grew stronger with each passing year. She felt secure knowing that her husband could make difficult decisions when necessary. She trusted his judgment because she had watched him make thoughtful, decisive choices time and again. Their relationship deepened, their connection intensified, and Elena would often tell her friends how grateful she was to have a man who could truly lead. But this story becomes even more revealing when we examine what happened in their professional lives. Marcus, accustomed to deferring decisions in his personal life, began to exhibit the same pattern at work. He would seek endless consensus before moving forward on projects. He would hesitate when bold architectural visions were needed. He would wait for others to take risks he was afraid to take himself. His career stagnated, his income plateaued, and eventually younger, more decisive architects began to surpass him. Victor's decisive nature served him brilliantly in his career. He could envision a project, make bold design decisions, and lead his team with confidence. He attracted bigger clients, earned larger commissions, and eventually started his own firm. His ability to make clear, definitive choices in uncertainty became his greatest professional asset. The tragedy of Marcus's story is not that he was a bad man, he was a good man who misunderstood the nature of leadership and attraction. He confused being accommodating with being loving. He mistook consensus seeking for wisdom. He thought that by letting others make decisions, he was being humble and considerate. In reality, he was abandoning his post as the leader of his own life. The triumph of Victor's story is not that he was dominating or controlling, quite the opposite. He understood that true leadership serves those being led. When a man makes decisive choices based on a clear vision of the future, when he takes responsibility for outcomes, when he leads with strength tempered by wisdom, he creates an environment where everyone in his orbit can flourish. Now let me reveal to you the deeper principle that governs this dynamic. The human mind, particularly the feminine mind, is designed to test strength. This is not a conscious process, it is an instinctual one, programmed by millions of years of evolution. When a woman consistently sees a man defer his decision-making power, something deep within her psyche interprets this as weakness, not moral weakness, but survival weakness. Her subconscious mind begins to question whether this man can be relied upon in times of genuine crisis. This testing is not malicious, it is natural and necessary. A woman needs to know that the man in her life possesses the strength and decisiveness to protect and provide for their future together. When a man repeatedly fails these tests by deferring his leadership, he creates a dynamic where the woman must step into the leadership role herself. This reversal of natural polarity kills attraction, breeds resentment, and destroys the very foundation of romantic love. But understand this clearly, leadership does not mean dictatorship. True leadership means taking responsibility for outcomes while considering the wisdom and input of others. It means making the final decision when a decision must be made, even when that decision is difficult or unpopular. It means having a vision for the future and the courage to pursue that vision despite obstacles and opposition. The masterful man learns to exercise what I call definite decision-making. This means he gathers information, considers consequences, seeks wise counsel when appropriate, then makes a clear, definitive choice and commits to that choice completely. He doesn't second-guess himself endlessly. He doesn't seek validation from others after the decision is made. He chooses his path and walks it with confidence. This principle extends far beyond romantic relationships into every area of your life. Your career, your finances, your health, your personal development, all of these areas require decisive leadership from you. When you approach life with a clear sense of your own authority and responsibility, opportunities begin to appear that were invisible when you lived in a state of indecision and deference. The consciousness required for this transformation is what I call mastermind consciousness. This is the awareness that you are the chief executive officer of your own life. Every thought you think, every decision you make, every action you take either moves you closer to your definite major purpose or further away from it. There is no neutral ground. You are either advancing or retreating, growing or dying, leading or following. Time becomes your ally when you understand this principle. Instead of allowing days and weeks to slip by while you wait for clarity or consensus, you begin to make decisions quickly and adjust course as new information becomes available. You understand that a good decision made quickly is superior to a perfect decision made too late. You develop what successful people call decisiveness under pressure. Reality responds to this shift in consciousness in ways that seem almost magical. When you begin to operate from a place of definite decision-making and clear personal leadership, people begin to treat you differently. They seek your opinion, they respect your judgment, they follow your lead. Opportunities begin to present themselves because opportunity is attracted to decisiveness like iron filings to a magnet. But let me warn you about the challenges you will face during this transformation. The people in your life who have grown accustomed to your indecisiveness will initially resist your new leadership. They may accuse you of being selfish, controlling, or difficult. This resistance is actually a sign that you are moving in the right direction. You are disrupting patterns that were comfortable for others but destructive for you. Your own mind will also resist this change. The habits of deference and people-pleasing run deep. Your subconscious mind will attempt to pull you back into old patterns of seeking approval and avoiding conflict. You must be vigilant during this transition period, constantly choosing courage over comfort, leadership over likability. The story of Marcus and Victor continues to unfold in ways that illustrate these challenges perfectly. When Marcus finally recognized what had happened to his life, he attempted to reclaim his leadership suddenly and dramatically. He began making unilateral decisions without explanation, became rigid and controlling, and tried to reassert his authority through force rather than through strength. This approach backfired completely. Sarah, who had grown accustomed to making decisions, rebelled against what she perceived as his sudden transformation into a tyrant. Victor, who had maintained his leadership gradually and consistently, never faced this kind of rebellion because he had never abandoned his post in the first place. His leadership was established, respected, and accepted because it had been demonstrated through years of wise, decisive action. This teaches us a crucial lesson. If you have surrendered your leadership, you must reclaim it gradually, wisely, and with demonstrated competence. You cannot simply declare yourself the leader and expect others to follow. You must earn back the respect and trust that your indecisiveness has cost you. The path forward requires what I call applied faith. Faith in your own ability to make good decisions. Faith in your capacity to learn from mistakes. Faith in your power to create the life you envision. This faith is not blind optimism. It is confidence based on your commitment to develop the skills and mindset necessary for effective leadership. Begin by making small decisions decisively. Choose the restaurant when you go out to dinner. Select the movie when you're looking for entertainment. Plan the vacation when it's time to travel. Take charge of your finances, your schedule, your personal development. With each decisive choice, you rebuild the muscle of leadership that has atrophied through years of deference. As your confidence grows, begin to tackle larger decisions, career moves, investment choices, major life changes. Approach these with the same definitive mindset. Gather information, consider consequences, then choose your path and commit to it fully. Remember, you can always adjust course as you gain new information, but you cannot succeed if you never choose a direction in the first place. The transformation in your relationships will be profound. The woman in your life, if she is meant to be there, will begin to relax into her feminine energy as you step into your masculine leadership. She will feel safer, more cherished, more attracted to you because she will sense that you have become a man who can be trusted with important decisions. If she cannot adjust to your new leadership, then she was never truly meant to be your partner in the first place. Your professional life will flourish as colleagues and clients begin to see you as someone who can be relied upon to make tough choices. Your income will increase because decisive leaders are always in high demand. Your personal satisfaction will grow because you will finally feel like the master of your own destiny rather than a victim of circumstance. But the greatest transformation will occur within your own consciousness. You will begin to see yourself as you truly are, not a helpless victim of external forces, but a powerful creator of your own reality. You will understand that every challenge is an opportunity to demonstrate your leadership. Every setback is a chance to display your resilience. Every choice is a moment to affirm your commitment to your definite major purpose. The time dimension of your life will shift dramatically. Instead of feeling like time is slipping away while you wait for others to decide your fate, you will begin to feel like you have all the time you need because you are using each moment decisively. You will stop procrastinating, stop second-guessing, stop seeking endless validation from others. You will act with the confidence of a man who knows his own mind and trusts his own judgment. This is not about becoming harsh or insensitive. True leadership requires tremendous sensitivity to timing, to the needs of others, to the subtle dynamics of every situation. But this sensitivity is filtered through strength, not weakness. You consider others while maintaining your own center. You care deeply while remaining decisive. You love fully while never abandoning your post as the leader of your own life. As our story concludes, we find that Marcus eventually learned these principles, but the cost of his education was enormous. His marriage ended, his career required complete rebuilding, and years of his life were lost to indecision and deference. He had to start over completely, applying these principles to create a new life built on a foundation of personal leadership and decisive action. Victor, having understood these principles from the beginning, continued to build upon his success. His architectural firm became internationally renowned. His marriage grew stronger with each passing year, and his influence expanded into areas he had never imagined possible. He became a mentor to younger men, teaching them the principles of leadership and decisive action that had served him so well. The difference between these two men was not talent, not opportunity, not even luck. The difference was their understanding of personal leadership and their willingness to exercise decisive authority over their own lives. One man led his life, the other allowed his life to lead him. The outcomes speak for themselves. My friend, as I conclude this message, I want you to understand that everything I have shared with you today is not theory. It is practical wisdom tested in the crucible of real human experience. The principles of personal leadership, decisive action, and conscious choice are not suggestions. They are requirements for anyone who wishes to live a life of significance and satisfaction. The choice before you is simple but not easy. You can continue to drift through life, allowing others to make your important decisions, seeking consensus instead of exercising leadership, playing it safe instead of taking calculated risks. If you choose this path, you will continue to experience the frustration, the lack of respect, the diminished attraction, the career stagnation that brought you to this moment. Or you can choose to reclaim your birthright as the leader of your own life. You can develop the consciousness of a master, the decisiveness of a winner, the courage of a true leader. You can begin today to make the choices that will transform your relationships, your career, your entire existence. You can stop being a passenger in your own life and become the driver of your own destiny. The decision is yours and yours alone. No one else can make this choice for you. No one else can give you permission to lead your own life. No one else can grant you the authority to pursue your dreams with unwavering determination. These things come from within, from the deepest part of your being, from the place where your true power resides. Remember the words that have guided countless successful individuals throughout history. Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. But conception and belief must be followed by decisive action, by unwavering commitment, by the daily choice to lead rather than follow. The universe is waiting for you to step into your power. The people in your life are waiting for you to become the leader you were meant to be. Your future self is waiting for you to make the decisions today that will create the tomorrow you desire. The time for waiting is over. The time for seeking permission is finished. The time for allowing others to control your destiny has ended. This is your moment to rise, to lead, to become the master of your own fate and the captain of your own soul. Your life is not a rehearsal. This is not a practice round. Every day you spend in indecision is a day you can never recover. Every opportunity you miss while waiting for someone else to decide is an opportunity that may never come again. Every moment you surrender your leadership is a moment you weaken the very foundation of your existence. But every choice you make from a place of strength, every decision you render with confidence, every action you take with purpose builds the life you truly desire. This is your time. This is your moment. This is your opportunity to finally answer the question that began our time together today. Do you lead your life, or does it command you? The answer is not in your words, it is in your actions. It is not in your intentions, it is in your decisions. It is not in your dreams, it is in your daily commitment to becoming the leader you were born to be. Rise up, my friend. Take your place at the helm of your own destiny. The world needs your leadership, your vision, your courage. But most importantly, you need to become the person you were meant to be, not a victim of circumstance, but a master of fate, not a follower of others, but a leader of your own magnificent life. Write "I will be better now" in the comments below if you're ready to stop asking permission and start taking command of your destiny. Your transformation begins the moment you decide to lead rather than follow. The question is not whether you can change, the question is whether you will choose to change. The power has always been yours. It's time to use it.